What is up, ladies and gentlemen? The market has had a massive correction. In this video, I'm going to run through some technical analysis, talk about what I see happening both short-term and long-term, explain why the market corrected, whether this is indeed the top of the market, what you need to know to understand what's going on with the market today. So, folks, if you like the sound of that and if you want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest in crypto, like, subscribe, comment, and share. Hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. Look, we're going to run through some key support levels and explain what is going on and why we had this dump. So let's begin by first explaining what happened. Shout out to CryptoRS. He broke the news story of F2 Pool dumping large quantities of Bitcoin on the market, and that is why I believe that is what I think initiated this dump in Bitcoin and Ethereum and really the market as a whole. So recently, F2 Pool, one of the, I believe one of, if not the largest Bitcoin mining pools, recently dumped a substantial amount of Bitcoin onto the market, which, you know, just which caused Bitcoin and the market as a whole to dump and correct. So that does suck, but one thing we need to be aware of, and one chart I love looking at to try to understand when the peaks and and the bottoms of the market could be, is the NUPL at net unrealized profit loss chart. This is a very good chart to try and understand when the peaks and the bottoms of a market will be. Whenever we enter the blue euphoria stage, that's essentially when price rises parabolically. Okay, it's when people make too much money too quick and we enter a euphoria stage, and this has historically been directly correlated with a local or cycle top every single time it's happened. So we were very close to entering the blue euphoria stage, right around the $60,000 range. And given now that we've had this correction, we have not. Folks, I say this to say, I think this correction is healthy. And although I'm sure a lot of people are losing money, I've lost money. I'm down. My portfolio is down quite a bit today. I am happy that this happened. This is a blessing. Because for a bull market to be healthy and sustainable, we need corrections. We need long periods of sideways consolidation and correcting. The longer we correct and the more we consolidate and the more we move sideways, the stronger the next impulse will be. Folks, I want to bring your attention to a chart from back in 2018. Shout out to Altcoin Daily, who broke down this chart pretty well. This is a chart of Bitcoin back in 2017, the last bull run. Look how often we had substantial large pullbacks. We recently had our first, kind of 30-ish% pullback here in kind of January, 32%. We are now experiencing what I believe to be our second substantial pullback. If you're in crypto, if you're a long-term investor, it's not a matter of if, when, expect half a dozen large, substantial corrections with Bitcoin and the market as a whole before this bull run is over. It is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It is to be expected. And although it sucks while it's happening, it sucks in the short term, I believe these pullbacks are immensely healthy. It solidifies and strengthens the overall bear trend. Because, folks, yes, we are correcting in the short term, but when in doubt, zoom out. We are in an overall uptrend. So, with that being said, we're going to delve into some TA with Bitcoin and Ethereum specifically and kind of highlight some key support and resistance areas that I think we need to be aware of. And I'm going to talk about what would constitute a end of the bull market. So stay tuned, folks. Another thing as well, another reason why I'm not at all worried and why I'm, in fact, buying the dip on a lot of these coins. While some people are panic selling and getting out of the market and saying this is the end, I am buying the dip. Folks, be greedy when people are fearful and be fearful when people are greedy. Dips are for buying. Buying the dip is where you can find the most return on investment potential. You don't want to chase pumps. You want to be buying things when the sky is falling, no one wants to touch it, and it's been crashing. That's when you can make the most amount of money, and that's why I've been buying specific altcoins during this dip and not selling anything. The only thing I will be doing to my bags over the next few days and weeks, even if we consolidate further, is adding to them when things fall. That is the only thing I will be doing. And one reason why I'm so confident is because, folks, over the short term, crypto is insanely volatile. We're in the most volatile asset class in the world. We have 20, 30, 40% pullbacks, 50% pullbacks with certain altcoins all the time. It's a regular occurrence. So why am I so confident if the market is so volatile? Because yes, in the short term, things can be hard to call and the market can be very volatile. But over the long term, I believe cryptocurrency is actually extremely predictable and extremely easy to understand over the long term. Why? It's all because of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin halvings. It's because of the halvings that Bitcoin and crypto moves in these cycles. Okay, so Bitcoin basically has these halvings roughly every 4 years, and these halvings have historically been a pretty good call of when the tops and the bottom of the market will be. So basically, the bottom of the market to the halving is typically 51% of the bull cycle. All right, and after the halving, there's typically 49% of the movement until the top is reached. I hope that makes some kind of sense. If you check out our Discord group, link down in the description below, I have a link to this chart by Trading Shot. You can read through this. This person does a much better job of explaining it than I will. But the point is here, the important takeaway, the thing that you need to understand is that we recently had a halving back in May. Okay, and based off this, historically speaking, Bitcoin isn't likely to reach its peak until late September. And so if we see that historically speaking, this chart has been extremely valid and that we're probably likely to experience we're probably likely to reach some kind of peak late September. And if we look back at the previous cycles and we see that substantial pullbacks with the market as a whole is extremely common. And if we look at an extremely important chart that's very good at calling tops and peaks, and we still have not entered the blue euphoria zone, folks, I am not the least bit worried. In fact, I am happy that that we've had a giant correction with the market. I have actually been behind the scenes a little bit worried that we were pumping too quick, too fast, too early in the cycle. If indeed we're likely to reach some top with Bitcoin in late September, and Ethereum and the altcoins last cycle reached their peak roughly a month after Bitcoin, we have so many more months. This market isn't likely to top out until September, October, November. We have so many more months of bull run ahead of us. I was kind of worried that Bitcoin was hitting $60,000 this early on. I hope that we have a several month long correction and consolidation phase. Although, again, we're going to delve into what I think is actually happening in some key support levels, and delve into the technicals pretty soon here. But the reason why I would be happy if that happened, because I know that means that on the other end, because I'm a long-term investor, I know that when we have that extended correction and consolidation is what allows the next impulse to happen and what allows the bull trend to continue with strength. These corrections are necessary to be expected, and if you're in crypto, if you're a long-term investor, expect these corrections to happen several more times before this bull run is over. Now, I want to highlight some key support and resistance areas with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, before I delve into Ethereum stuff, I want to hover on Bitcoin because I think I have a pretty good idea of what could constitute the end of a bull run with Bitcoin. So, 30 to 38 corrections are commonplace with Bitcoin, but 40 in a bull market, but 40 to 50% corrections are not common in a bull market. So one extremely important support level that we need to keep our eye out for, I believe, is the 50 simple moving average on the daily. Why? Because if we zoom back to the last cycle, I think this is the moving average that best and most closely called the end of the bull market last time around. I looked at different simple moving averages and different exponential moving averages, and I think the 50 simple moving average on the daily probably does the best job of gauging when the end of the bull run was. Whenever we had daily candles start to close below the 50 simple moving average on the daily, that is what marked the end of the bull run. So where is the 50 simple moving average on the daily right now? Well, it is at $40,000, right near a major support region from kind of $42,000 to $40,000. I am not worried about this bull run being over until we start to get daily candles closed below the 50 simple moving average on the daily. That's when I would personally, I would actually get quite concerned that this bull run is probably nearing some kind of peak, some kind of top. If and when we start to get daily candles close below this 50 simple moving average on the daily. But until we fall below $40,000, I am not at all concerned about this bull run being over. And again, no guarantee that we're going to follow that low. We are currently finding support at kind of 47,000 US dollars with Bitcoin. There's a lot of volume building up in these regions. So if we cannot hold, I'd say, yeah, if we cannot hold above $45,000, I do think we're going to fall back down and retest, I'd say $42,000 to $40,000. If this area cannot hold us support, $42,000 to $40,000, that's when I would start to be worried about us being in some kind of local top or cycle top. But until that happens, I'm not at all worried. I think this correction is normal, to be expected, healthy, and in fact, I'm in a Ethereum long. Now, I'm not telling you guys to FOMO into Ethereum or FOMO into a long. Okay, I'm not a financial advisor. These are not financial advice. But looking at Ethereum, we have hit a critical support level, the 200 EMA on the 6 hour. We're currently holding that as support. Like I mentioned briefly, I am in a long. I have my stop loss placed right below the 200 EMA on the 6 hour. And why am I in a long? Well, I'm starting to see some signs of some strength. But just before I delve into that, we did fall below a critical support level, which is the 100 EMA on the 6 hour. I've been mentioning this as a critical support level. We can see pump dump, we found support around there, pump dump, found support there, and in fact, we have fallen below that, which is actually very bearish for Ethereum. That's very bearish to see. We could enter a extended consolidation and correction phase for the next few days and weeks, but over the long term, I'm not at all worried about Ethereum. I think this is in fact a great buy the dip opportunity, in my opinion, a great place to dollar cost average away into Ethereum if one were so inclined. Now, if we start to fall below the 200 EMA on the 6 hour, I would be very worried about Ethereum no longer being short-term bullish and entering an extended correction and consolidation phase. So let's look at our indicators and try and figure out what is going on. So we have had a bearish crossover on the daily MACD. Extremely bad news bears, extremely no bueno. Just based off that, I think at the very least, the best we could hope for is sideways consolidation in the short term here. So yeah, daily looks bearish. Let's take a look at the 12 hour is an extension of the daily. The only thing that's bullish on the 12 hour is we have had a bullish crossover on the stochastic RSI. The stochastic RSI is great for understanding shifts in trends, by the way. So that's very interesting. And we touched the oversold region on the 12 hour on the RSI, and we're on our way up. So while the 12 hour does look bearish, I'm starting to see some signs that we could have reached potentially a short-term bottom, very potentially. So let's keep looking at our indicators here to see what's going on. 8 hour bearish, yeah, weighted MACD on the way down, MACD on the way down. Stochastic RSI had a bullish crossover, but he did not want to go up, still on the way down. RSI, yeah, entering the oversold region. So hey, folks, whenever you let's take a look at the last time Ethereum was in the oversold region on the 8 hour. It was 3 September. Let's zoom out and find where 3 September was. Wow, we can barely find it. So this is the last time Ethereum was oversold on the 8 hour, was here. Folks, dips are for buying, in my most humble of opinions. Like I mentioned earlier, I am buying this dip. Look at the last time we were oversold on the 8 hour, and then look what followed afterwards. We're in a bull market, folks. Not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor. You do you. So that's the 8 hour. Let's take a look at the 6 hour bullish cross from the stochastic. Oh, histogram starting to tick up. RSI in the oversold. So yeah, that's interesting. 4 hour, we're starting to see 6 hour, we're starting to see a little bit of strength. Look at this 4 hour. Histogram is continuing to tick up. Weighted MACD looks like it wants to have a bullish crossover. The weighted MACD is a leading indicator on the regular MACD. Stochastic RSI, bullish crossover on the way up. RSI in the oversold region, having a little bit of a leg up on the 4 hour. We're starting to see some strength on the lower time frames. 2 hour MACD starting to tick up. Weighted MACD bullish crossover on the way up. Stochastic RSI on the way up, although it's curving down, looks like it might want to have a bearish crossover, which is actually very bearish. So the stochastic RSI is great for understanding when we're going to have a shift in the trend. It typically moves from one extreme to the next, one extreme to the other. And so when we're in one extreme, the oversold, and we're supposed to have a leg up to the overbought, and we don't, and we have a bearish crossover kind of midway through, it's actually very bearish. It's telling you price does not want to go up. And so looking at the RSI, we're in the oversold region. We had a leg up, but we made a lower high. So still bearish, not super strong, although we're starting to see some signs of some strength. 1 hour. 1 hour bullish crossover on the MACD, although histogram is ticking down. Weighted MACD, yeah, on the way down. Stochastic RSI on the way down. So, to summarize what we're seeing here, folks, on Ethereum, higher time frames look very bearish. We're starting to see some signs of some strength, some bullish crossovers. We're starting to tick up a little bit, kind of like the mid-hourlies, although lower time frames seem to want to have a bit of a leg down. So what does this translate into? I think we're going to just consolidate sideways at around the 200 EMA on the 6 hour. If we start to fall below the 200 EMA on the 6 hour, that's very bad news bears, very no bueno. I think we're going to have a further leg down, probably fall, I'd say, between 1350 and 1300. There's a lot of volume building up in these regions, and that's where we found support before. If we cannot hold the 200 EMA on the 6 hour, I think that's kind of what's happening next with Ethereum. And as well, if we zoom out to the 12 hour, if those areas cannot hold, I'd say 1350 to 1315. I think the most important support area for Ethereum is, I'd say, 1200 to 1250. We have a massive spike in volume in these regions. Okay, this is the VPVR point of control, and we have the 200 EMA on the 12 hour right within these regions. So I think this is the lowest Ethereum could fall to and still remain short-term bullish. I think if we start to fall below that, I would be worried that we've entered a local top, and that we're probably going to enter extended days and weeks long consolidation correcting. If we fall below this, that is not a guarantee that we fall below this. Like I said, folks, I'm in an Ethereum long. Hey, this is extremely risky. Don't just FOMO and do what I do. I could lose on this trade. I have my stop loss right below the 200 EMA on the 6 hour. That's what I'm doing. I'm not telling you guys what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. These videos are not financial advice. So, just to summarize a bit here, folks. With Bitcoin, we're currently finding support on the 6 hour 100 EMA. If that does not hold, I think we're going for that next leg down. We have a bunch of support regions, heavy support from 42,000 to 40,000, the 200 EMA on the 6 hour, the 50 EMA on the daily, these local peaks and spikes in volumes, all from 42 to 40,000. I'm not going to be worried about Bitcoin reaching any kind of top of this bull market, reaching a local top until we fall below these levels, and until Ethereum falls below 1250 to 1200. I'm not worried. I still think this market is short-term bullish until unless we start to fall below these key levels. And another thing as well, folks, we could enter some kind of August 2.0 scenario. For those who have been around and remember August, again, we had a massive run up in August. We had in September, we had weeks of crashing and consolidating and correcting. And what happened afterwards? Everything broke above all-time highs and then their price discovery and exploded parabolically. So, like I said, folks, I'm going to leave you with this image, okay? These corrections are common. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell icon to notify new uploads, and stay tuned to this channel. If anything interesting further happens with Bitcoin, any major support levels broken or resistance levels broken above, we will definitely be talking about it on this channel and in our Discord group. Link to join our Discord will be down in the description below. And if you guys like what we do on this channel and you want to support us, consider joining our Patreon. Link down in the description below. You get access to our VIP Discord, low cap gems, interesting setups, that kind of thing, folks. So thanks for watching. Take care.